Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today in front of us is every single LEGO Christmas Star Wars minifigure ever made. There is a long-standing tradition with LEGO to make Christmas-themed figs and or droids and or creatures, usually having to do with the Star Wars Advent calendar. And right now, this is the complete collection as of 2019, the very end of 2019, which is an update from the last time we did this video, which was about 3 years ago. I'm going to be going through the collection chronologically from what years they came out, what sets they came out in, and how much they are currently worth in the aftermarket right now. But before I jump into the video, if you like this display case, which this collection is relatively sparse in compared to others, but if you like the display case, you can actually get this for yourself. It comes in a variety of different colors, built out of all American red oak, built in America, and you can find it at our web store, www.brickvault.toys, linked in the description below. Really, really high quality option for displaying your LEGO collection, your minifigure collection of some sort. I thought blue would match up, making the red pop out quite well, at least in my opinion, but it comes in a variety of colors depending on what you want to do. But anyways, let's jump into the collection, starting with the very first guy right here. So it all started with this Yoda figure from 2011. He came out in the first Star Wars Advent calendar and therefore became the first of the Christmas-themed Star Wars characters. So it's Santa Yoda at the end of the day. This print looks very much like other Santa prints that you have here, but the skin tone right at the top by the neck matches up with Yoda's skin tone, so it is indeed an exclusive print just for him. You'll notice his head is the older mold, which was the common one back in 2011, and he comes with a couple of different tile pieces that fits into the satchel. So that's the through and through with him. Not a bad start, I should say, in terms of a character choice for starting off this tradition. And then 2012 gave us two new figs from the next Advent calendar. So we've got Darth Maul, who's got an amazing custom print, and Snowman R2-D2, which is pretty darn cool. It looks a little bright here. I might take the light down there. You can see him a little better. So the carrots make up the detailing on the front, which is great. That's some coal that makes up the eyes. He comes with a top hat. And Darth Maul has some really nice printing there on the front of the torso. Also, it's definitely worth pointing out that they decided to print onto his back. He's got a little hidden candy cane. Great extra detailing. This is something that's covered up by the cape, so it's just nice to see that they went ahead and put in a little bit more effort into this figure, even though, you know, a lot of these details ended up being hidden at the end of the day. The outlining for all the mechanical detailing on R2 is just basically putting your finger into the snow and just kind of drawing out some of those boxy details, which is a nice touch. It really does keep it completely within the universe. And then let's move on to 2014. Sorry, I should say 2013. This is Jango Fett, Santa Jango Fett. And this is my favorite of any of the prints because here you can see the Mandalorian armor has been Christmas colorified. He even has a little bit of the mistletoe. I think that's mistletoe. Present pieces are on his utility belt, and it just looks so good. Here he is now without any of the stuff on his back, and you can see that they even have some nice little chipped away detailing, revealing some of the shinier Beskar armor on the back, which is just so good. It's a really nice bit of detailing for this character all around. And it makes sense that he's also one of the more sought after figures within the collection in terms of resellability. But if you want to go a little bit higher, of course, Darth Vader ends up being one of the more sought after and collectible of any of these guys. He's one of three characters from 2014 Advent calendar that ended up qualifying as a Christmasified Star Wars character, and for good reason. He's not only one of the most well-known Star Wars figures of all time, but I think they also did a great job with the printing on the front. You can see that the Santa robes go all the way down onto the legs. They match up quite nicely. Also presents on his utility belt, a little bit bigger than Jango's. And yeah, just a darn good looking fig. From the same Advent calendar comes a slightly less intricate figure, and by slightly less I mean completely less intricate. Technically he counts as part of an exclusive release as a Christmas character because he has a Santa hat on him, and helmets count as an exclusive piece of a minifigure during a release. So he's got a Santa hat. It's It's just a clone trooper with a Santa hat. That's all he is. He comes with a little mug, maybe for hot cocoa. And then this guy is also just such a wonderful piece. I believe he is officially called R2-D2, and this is a Christmas tree version of R2-D2. Amazing. The details are so nice. Here you can actually see that he is a droid, in fact. So the bottom half of him is totally droidified, and then the top half, it looks pretty much organic. I mean, unless this is just a really tall droided cone head. You don't have any printing on the back, so it's hard to tell anything there, but it's great. You have some indications for leaves and ornaments, but still the little eye indicator and stuff right in the front like normal R2-D2. So good. This printing feels a little bit lower effort, kind of. I mean, it's basically just a recoloration of what you normally get for R2, but I think the head more than makes up for it. He remains one of the more well sought after characters in terms of later collectability. And then 2015 was simple, but I think pretty appropriate, because now you get R2 and you have C-3PO. C-3PO technically is the only one with an exclusive print. It looks like this could totally be added on to a different Santa figure at some point, but it actually has never been done before. So technically this torso print for him is exclusive just to the character, and now you can see it in full without his beard, though I still think he looks amazing with his beard. And R2-D2 is a standard R2-D2. He's come out in about 1 million sets. The only difference now is that he's got reindeer antlers on, very similar to how maybe they added on the little tray of drinks for him at some point. This could just be a hat that he's wearing, but he really is just kind of a basic R2-D2, but technically, once again, that counts as an exclusive release. And then 2016 is by far one of my favorite years for this particular tradition with LEGO and Star Wars. What we've got here is the snowman Chewbacca. I call him the Yeti Chewie because, Yetis live out in the Arctic as a mythical creature, and Chewie, being very big and hairy and strong, pretty much fits the profile. You can see the little print that goes along his ammo belt, if I can move some of his little accessories out of the way, is just Christmas colored, super simple. A little bit on the back as well, but that mold is really standard for any Chewie. And of course, they also, leaned into the printing for the eyes and nose, which isn't all that different from a normal Chewie, but it pops, obviously a lot because the mold is pure white. So cool, though. He's got the little stud shooting bowcaster, which has a snowball in it, so it's a snowball shooting weapon, not a weapon. And he's holding a little mini Christmas tree, I suppose. Really, really fun fig, though. Then moving down to 2017, I had to give this just a little bit more room because he's got the much wider snowboard right there. BB-8 is the only one that technically qualified as a unique Christmas figure, and it's the same thing as the clone trooper. He's got a Santa hat. He's also on top of a snowboard, though I don't know if that technically counts as being part of the fig, but instead is an accessory. Both Santa hats and BB-8 figures are pretty darn common, so he's, I think, one of the easiest to get, because really it's just a lot of common pieces combined together in order to get what we've got right here. And let me just quickly say before we jump on to 2019, 2018 didn't have any figs from the advent calendar that technically counted as LEGO Star Wars Christmas exclusives. There were some pieces that were really nice, but technically didn't count for this collection. So let's jump on up to 2019, which more than made up for it. So here are the two Christmas figs for 2019, the advent calendar, and neither of them are really minifigures in the classic sense, though they do count. I would say they count in terms of collecting stuff for Star Wars. We collect all the animals, so the Porg would definitely count, and we collect all the droids, and so the Gonk present droid definitely counts. I think the Gonk present droid fits in best with the theme because it's a big boxy robot. They made that box work to its advantage here, obviously building it to look like a present. So I think Yeti, Snowman, R2X Tree, those guys are the best ones just because thematically they kind of morph into things that work really well for the theme. So the Gonk Droid is great. And then I like this Porg. I really like the way he turned out, but I don't like the fact, because I wanted to just brick build him and avoid getting the advent calendar. I wasn't really that big of a fan of the set, but I couldn't do that in time for this video because the piece that makes up his body has to be a 1x1 stud with, you know, little stud holes on all four sides. And they don't make that piece in red for any other guy than this guy right now, this Porg. So right now, this piece that makes up his body on the inside is exclusive just to this guy. It will definitely not remain that way for 2020, but it made it unavoidable for me not getting this set, which I was kind of trying to avoid. It doesn't matter. So right now, their prices aren't really listed. I have a feeling that they're going to end up both being pretty darn cheap to get in the later aftermarkets, especially like a year from now. And yeah, let's move on to some figs that I think everyone's going to really enjoy. I definitely did. I've got a full video up for the employee gift, or the seasonal Christmas gift that employees and other members of the LEGO group receive at the end of the year, and there were two really nice figs. This first one is the elf version of Yoda, and I say elf because he's got green legs, and in the set there is kind of like a little workshop for him. So the chest piece is actually, so far as I know, exclusive just to this Yoda. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been able to find. I've been searching through Bricklink to see if this print matches up with like another version of Santa that we've gotten, but so far I never picked it up. And yeah, he's got little dark green legs. This is the updated, the more contemporary head mold for Yoda. Obviously, the skin tone has changed from 2011 as well. Not an exclusive piece. Really nice looking guy. And then the Yuletide Pilot was the second one that came from this set, and he's got an exclusive print about him. So let me just take off some of these pieces so you can see the full thing. It was pointed out to me actually in the comments from the last review I did of this set that the face is Obi-Wan's face, and I believe you're right. Several users that pointed that out. You can see some nice reflective gold plate printing on the chest though. Very similar, not totally the same, but very similar straps for the flight suit that a lot of other pilots get, and there's even nice printing even onto the groin piece that matches up as well. Really good. He's got some little details in the back too. Just a little bit of a dark green, bit of that vest or satchel armor piece, I suppose, that goes on him. And yeah, he's looking, actually, I could put the beard back on him. And because officially these have not been added to the Bricklink market, I can only go off of what the set is selling for and what it's being listed for on eBay. The set's going for like $300 or something. So you can maybe get it for $250 depending on the seller, and eBay's actually higher than Bricklink. So we'll see where this settles at the end of next year, but my guess, my absolute certainty is that both the Yoda and especially the Yuletide Pilot, they are going to be by far the most expensive figs in this collection. And they, yeah, it's just the way it goes. This hasn't been released to the general public, and I probably won't be, to my knowledge, so these guys are going to be a little bit more difficult to get your hands on. But thus is the world of collecting, and yeah, so anyways, these are the two guys, and let's jump back to the collection as a whole. All right, and with that, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. If you enjoy this video, you can always like or subscribe. Remember to check out those links in the description below, and if I was to add any other type of holiday-themed, Santa-themed figure for the years to come, I would hope that LEGO goes to, you know, the Holy Trinity, Han, Luke, or Leia, in any type of holiday or Santa theme would be pretty cool in my opinion, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. If you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe, and we will see you next time at BrickVault.